So there's this moment right at the end of the third episode. Dunk has just beaten up a Targaryen prince, which, as decisions go, is not a great one. And now 4 guards have him pinned down, and Aerion is about to break all his teeth against the corner of a wooden stage. And then this bald 10-year-old kid walks through the tent entrance. The kid Dunk picked up as a squire 3 episodes ago.
You stupid boy! Hold your tongue or they'll hurt you!
No, they won't. If they do, they'll answer to my father. Let go of him. Wait, yokel, do as I say.
And Aerion, annoyed, asks,
Impudent little wretch. What's happened to your hair?
I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you.
Aerion is the second son of Prince Aegon Targaryen. The missing 4th son, the one the whole royal family has been searching for, is this bald boy who has been traveling with a broke hedge knight for the last 3 episodes. His name is Aegon Targaryen, future king of Westeros. Now, there are 2 ways to watch that reveal. The first way is, wow, what a twist, didn't see that coming. The second way, which is what I want to spend this video on, is it was always right there, every time. The show spent 3 episodes hiding a prince in plain sight.
Falling star brings luck to those who see it.
Go to sleep, boy.
And it left the clues sitting out in the open, and it was confident you'd miss them, and it was right. And when you go back and watch knowing what you know, you realize the show was doing something the Westeros franchise has never really attempted before. So let me start with who these 2 people are, because the show set up its own joke from minute 1, and it's a good one. Dunk is a hedge knight. That means he's a wandering, lordless knight who sleeps under hedges and has nothing to his name.
I'd leave your sword, but it would only rust in the ground.
His mentor, Sir Arlen, died on a muddy road outside Ashford, and Dunk claims Arlen knighted him in his last moments. No witnesses. His entire title of Sir Duncan the Tall rests on his own work. Egg shows up in the opening episode as what looks like a stable boy at a roadside inn. Small, smirking at Dunk from atop his warhorse, wearing a dead man's helmet, asking if he can be a squire.
Take me with you, sir. Please.
And what might your mother say to that?
Not much. She's dead.
Dunk says no and tosses him a copper penny. Sure, the kid'll grab it the moment he turns around.
For your help. Sulk all you wish. I know you'll scoop it up as soon as I'm gone.
The kid doesn't pick it up. The show holds on the coin for 1 beat, then moves on like it was nothing. That coin is the first of 12 clues. And the thing about all 12 of them is that they're not hidden. The show didn't bury them, it just knew that if it put them in the right order, with the right framing, you'd see them and not see them at the same time. Because here's what Egg actually is. His real name is Prince Aegon Targaryen.
Baelor Targaryen, firstborn son of King Daeron the Good, Prince of Dragonstone, hand of the King, and heir to the Iron Throne. And his brother, Mirka.
The 4th and youngest son of Prince Aegon Targaryen, grandson of King Daeron II, who sits on the Iron Throne. He is as legitimate as a person can be in Westeros. His disguise is a shaved head.
Oh. Wow. Knighthood has fallen on sad days.
His older brother Daeron shaved Egg's silver-white Targaryen hair before they left the royal escort, because without that hair, Egg reads as just a bald boy, not a prince. The disguise works for one reason. Dunk grew up in Flea Bottom selling rats to pot shops. He's never been close enough to nobility to know what a Targaryen looks like at age 10. Egg's cover story isn't elaborate.
You from Flea Bottom?
No.
Aye.
He says he's from King's Landing, his mother is dead, he has no family. Every one of those is technically true. He is from King's Landing, from the Red Keep specifically, which sits at the top of Aegon's high hill above the city. His mother is dead. He just leaves out the part where his grandfather is the king. He doesn't lie. He omits.
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
Do you know every knight in the 7 Kingdoms, then?
The good ones. Falling star brings luck to those who see it.
Go to sleep, boy.
All the other knights are in their pavilions by now, staring up at the silk instead of sky.
Do you want a clout in the ear?
He lets Dunk's assumptions do the work, and the clues he leaves behind are all behavioral, all class, which is, and this is the thing I think the show is quietly saying, harder to hide than hair color. The copper penny is the cleanest example. Dunk tosses it at Egg's feet and assumes any orphan kid would scramble for it. An orphan kid would. A prince who grew up in a palace being waited on his entire life doesn't have a relationship with copper pennies. They're beneath consideration. He doesn't pick it up. And the show does something interesting with the currency in that episode. It puts all three denominations on camera. There's a gold dragon left on an inn table by the drunk nobleman in the opening scene, who we'll find out later is Egg's brother Daeron. And there's this copper penny. 2 coins dropped by 2 princes, both shown in close-up, 1 episode apart. Then there's the accent. Dunk grew up in Flea Bottom, the biggest slum in King's Landing, and he sounds like it. The show uses a working-class Irish accent for him, and the reason that matters is that commoners slur my lord into a single word, my lord. Egg doesn't do that.
My lord.
You thief!
I did not mean to offend you.
He says my lord as 2 separate, distinct words, the way educated people do, the way people who grew up being educated by maesters do. If you've watched Game of Thrones Season 2, there's a scene where Tywin Lannister catches Arya Stark, who's traveling in disguise as a commoner, on exactly this tell. He hears her say my lord too crisply. Arya has an explanation ready. Egg doesn't. Nobody thinks to ask.
And it's not just the accent. The kid is philosophically weird in a way that doesn't fit his supposed background. In episode 3, while Dunk is vomiting in the bushes from pre-tourney anxiety, Egg is sitting in a tree singing a song about the Battle of Redgrass Field.
Daemon was the bastard, so they kicked his bastard. Grass is green in summer, green grass I adore. But grass is red all over, when you kill a rebel, horses die in battle. This battle was the front. Blackfyre's not a trueborn, he came from the wrong country, was in peril. The anther was a rock, the hammer smashed the bastard with his giant veiny.
This is the battle where Egg's father Maekar and Uncle Baelor crushed the Blackfyre Rebellion 15 years ago. It's a Targaryen family victory. Their side won. It's their war song. No orphan stable boy sits in a tree singing that. Later that same episode, Dunk and Egg hear a bawdy drinking song about a girl called Aelys, and Egg stops and says,
Is this not the act of a dogged spirit, giving more than what is asked? The whole arm bone, as it were.
Perhaps her name does not matter then. It's her story that abides.
Her name is Hopesar. Belongs to all who invoke it.
Which is, that's a 10-year-old who was educated by court scholars. That's not Flea Bottom.
But the deepest tell, the one I keep coming back to, is in episode 2. Dunk is in a tent and he says something hopeful, that maybe if he performs well at the tourney, he could get hired by House Targaryen. He mentions that one of the Kingsguard knights, Sir Donald of Duskendale, started out as a crabber's son, which gives Dunk hope that a common man can rise, and Egg immediately corrects him. Donald's family, he says, while not noble-born, actually own half the crabbing fleets in Westeros and are quite wealthy. His rise wasn't as humble as Dunk thinks. Dunk asks,
What? How would you know?
And Egg just goes,
Like fishing.
Think about what knowing that actually requires. The Kingsguard are the royal bodyguard, 7 knights who live in the Red Keep, guard the king and his family, and are essentially the most elite knights in the realm. The specific financial status of a Kingsguard member's family is not public knowledge. It's the kind of thing you absorb if you grew up at court, surrounded by these men, maybe sitting in on the small council as a page.
May I ask, sir, how the son of a crabber came to have the honor of being a knight in the Kingsguard?
Same way we became crabbers.
It is not the kind of thing a street orphan would ever encounter. I like fishing is a perfectly calibrated deflection. Fishing, crabs, crabbing fleet, sure. But Dunk clocks that it's not an answer. And does nothing with it. There are other versions of this same tell scattered across episodes 1 and 2. When the Targaryen royal procession arrives at Ashford and trumpets announce them, Aeg immediately invents an excuse to leave.
Perhaps I should go back, sir. Check on the camp. Make sure no thieves have been nosing about.
And disappears. He's afraid of being spotted by his own father, who is in that procession. Dunk lets him go without a second thought.
You suppose the Dragon House employs many hedge knights, sir?
When Dunk mentions hoping to impress House Targaryen into hiring him, Aeg actively steers him away from the idea. Not because it's bad advice, but because he doesn't want both of their faces in front of Baelor and Maekar. When Dunk says he'd bet on Valar Targaryen to win his joust,
Favorite, I'd wager.
I'll take that bet, sir.
Aeg says he'd take that bet because Valar is his cousin and he's watched him joust, and Valar is fine but not dominant. An orphan stable boy doesn't have an informed opinion on the jousting ability of a Targaryen prince. And then there's the stuff about food and drink.
Why have I been vomiting all morning?
It's a mystery.
Which is smaller, but the show flags it for a reason. When Dunk has ale, Aeg has cider.
I was never a champion.
It's bugging my cider.
Noblemen at court drink wine. Commoner's ale is foreign to Aeg in the same way it was foreign to Arya Stark when she was in the Riverlands disguised as a servant. She'd literally never had it before. A genuinely hungry orphan on the road doesn't turn down hard salt beef either. Any meat is better than none. Aeg resists it throughout.
The one that's most interesting to me, though, isn't one of the knowledge gap clues. It's something subtler. In episode 2, after Dunk gets dismissed by Lord Tyrell and is walking away humiliated,
You were a knight of the realm, sir. You can say fuck their permission right into the list, call out Longthorn Tyrell, and turn his arsehole into a lance hole.
Aeg turns to him and says,
Why do you treat these royal lapdogs like they're your betters?
royal lapdogs. That's not the attitude of a kid looking up at power from the outside. That's the contempt of someone who grew up inside it, who saw these men come to court and knew exactly what they were there for.
And then, minutes later, when Targaryen banners appear, that contempt evaporates completely. He doesn't dismiss the Targaryens, he runs from them. That flip, contemptuous of everyone else, terrified of his own family, is the clearest tell in the whole series. On first watch, it reads as a confident kid having a scared moment. On rewatch, you see exactly what it is.
I want to leave. That was no mishap. My father told me you should never talk to a horse. He said they're dumber than dogs and only understand the crop.
Now, I want to stop and say something about why Aeg is doing any of this. Because the identity mystery could read as a manipulation, a prince using a dumb hedge knight for cover, and the show is careful to make sure it doesn't land that way. In episode 3, the director talked about a scene where Dunk and Aeg cook breakfast together, chopping, tending the fire, timing the cooking, and she called it the most delicious breakfast Aeg has ever had. Not because the food is good, because he made it.
I think I could be quite happy in a place like this.
You're in a place like this.
I meant for a while.
Ah, yeah.
After I lead a great campaign for my lord, of course.
Of course.
He grew up being waited on by servants. Making a campfire meal through actual labor and eating it, that was new. He chose this. He specifically wanted to escape being a prince and be a squire. That's not a pose. When the reveal happens and Dunk confronts him, Aeg is genuinely hurt that Dunk thinks he was using him. He just wanted, for the first time, to earn something. Which is where the identity mystery becomes more than a plot trick. Dunk's whole arc in Season 1 is about proving his knighthood is real. He has no proof, no witnesses, no voucher. He is obsessed with legitimacy, with earning the title he's already using. And next to him,
I do not want a victory. that I have not earned.
Traveling as his squire is the most legitimate person at the entire tourney, who's pretending to have nothing. The show put these two people together specifically so you'd feel the irony when you finally see it. The hedge knight performing a title he can't prove, and the prince performing poverty he doesn't feel. There's one more thing that happens in episode 3 before the reveal. It's a small scene, but I think it's the key to how the show expects you to watch Egg going forward. A fortune teller reads their futures. Dunk's first.
You shall know great success and be richer than a Lannister.
Generic stuff. He'll be rich as a Lannister. Dunk grins. Then she reads Egg's. She says he'll be king one day.
You shall be king, and die in hot fire, and worms shall feed upon your ashes. And all who know you shall rejoice in your dying.
Dunk laughs. Of course he laughs. This scruffy, bald kid, a future king? Obviously absurd. Egg goes completely still. He doesn't laugh. He's rattled, deeply, in a way that makes no sense for a reaction to a random street fortune teller. Unless you understand that the prophecy isn't implausible to him. He knows who he is. He's a Targaryen prince. Being told he'll be king someday is not a ridiculous fantasy. It is a thing that happens in his family. It is, in fact, exactly what happens to him. Egg eventually becomes King Aegon V, and he dies at a place called Summerhall, in a fire, trying to hatch dragon eggs. The fortune teller is exactly right.
So Duncan the Tall. He's large enough for the both of us.
We've not heard of him.
You will.
First-time viewers see a kid scared by a dark prophecy about his death. On Rewatch, what you're watching is a kid whose cover almost breaks because the first part of the prophecy recognized him. Okay, so then there's the scene right before the reveal, which is the show being almost cruel about how obvious it makes this for the audience while keeping Dunk completely blind to it. Dunk is in a tent with a man named Raymun Fossoway having a drink. Raymun is going on a tirade about House Targaryen, and then he mentions that Maekar's 2 sons have gone missing, left Summerhall and haven't been found. And he starts describing Maekar's 4 sons. The eldest, Daeron.
7 not why. Daeron's a sot. Aerion's just vain and cruel.
The second.
Daeron's a sot. Aerion's just vain and cruel.
The third brother. So useless at arms, he says.
The third's so useless, we're going to ship him off to a citadel to make a maester of him. And the youngest.
Ah! Sir Duncan! You have to come! Arion's hurting her.
Hurting who?
And the fourth, the youngest, lost with Daeron, and Raymun is about to describe him.
And the youngest.
Ah! Sir Duncan! You have to come! Arion's hurting her.
Hurting who?
Dunk has just been sitting there listening to a description of his squire. He didn't catch it. The show absolutely trusts the audience to catch what Dunk cannot. That's the whole design. And I want to hold on that third brother for a second. So useless at arms, they made a maester of him. Because that's Maester Aemon. If you watched Game of Thrones, Aemon is the very old, nearly blind maester at Castle Black. He's Jon Snow's confidant in Season 1. He's the one who tells Jon,
"My father was Micah, the first of his name. My brother Aegon reigned after him when I had refused the throne, and he was followed by his son Aerys, whom they called the Mad King."
He's 100 years old in that scene. He is Egg's brother. Raymun just dismissed him as a throwaway punchline. Then the actual reveal. Aerion attacks Tansel, the Dornish puppeteer. Dunk charges in, beats Aerion across the room, and ends up pinned down by 4 guards with Aerion about to break his teeth. Egg walks in.
You stupid boy! Hold your tongue or they'll hurt you!
No, they won't. If they do, they'll answer to my father. Let go of him. Wait, yokel, do as I say.
Calls the guards by name, tells them they'll answer to his father. When Aerion asks what happened to his hair, Egg says,
I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you.
And every scene that came before just rearranges itself. Go back to the copper penny. Go back to I like fishing. Go back to the singing in the tree. It all lands differently. Here's what I think this show is doing with the Kingsguard.
Like fishing.
Its highest dream, from the moment Sir Arlen let him hold a sword according to the books, is to become a knight of the Kingsguard, the most elite brotherhood in the realm. He looks at Sir Donal and sees a door. A common man rose to it, maybe Dunk can too. And Egg corrects him about Donal's fishing fleet with the casual ease of someone correcting a misconception about a servant they grew up around. Because that's what the Kingsguard is, Tag. They're his family's bodyguards. They live in his family's castle. Dunk looks up at them with aspiration. Egg grew up being protected by them. The show is planting something here that won't pay off for years, but it's in the historical record if you go looking. Dunk eventually becomes Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, appointed by King Aegon V, his former squire. The Book of Brothers entry on Dunk reads, born in Flea Bottom, family name unknown, took Prince Aegon V to squire, raised to Lord Commander of the Kingsguard by King Aegon V, his former squire. In Game of Thrones Season 4, Jaime Lannister reads from the White Book and says, Sir Duncan the Tall, who, as a hedge knight, broke several of Prince Aerion Targaryen's teeth while defending a Dornish woman. He later rose to Lord Commander and burned beside his king at Summerhall because Sir Duncan had sworn his oath. The hedge knight dreaming of Kingsguard glory gets it. The Targaryen prince escaping royal life appoints him. In episode 3, they're sitting next to each other in a tent, and neither of them knows any of this yet. And then the last thing. The wire that runs from this show back to Game of Thrones in a way that I don't think any prequel in this franchise has managed to do this. Not House of the Dragon, not anything. Raymun dismissed Maekar's third son in a single breath.
The third's so useless, we're going to ship him off to a citadel to make a maester of him. From the youngest.
Sir Duncan, you have to come. Arion's hurting her.
Hurting who?
So useless at arms, they shipped him off to the citadel. That's Maester Aemon. And Aemon lived to be over 100 years old. He outlived Egg by decades. He outlived the Mad King, outlived Robert's Rebellion, outlived almost everything, and ended up dying on the wall at Castle Block in Game of Thrones Season 5. And in his last hours, delirious, he calls out. He says, Egg, I dreamed that I was old. He also tells the wildling woman Gilly, earlier in that episode, that her baby Sam has a laugh just like Egg had when he was a baby.
Don't touch him!
You stupid boy! Hold your tongue or they'll hurt you!
No, they won't. If they do, they'll answer to my father. Let go of him. Wait, yokel, do as I say.
The kid who said, I like fishing. The kid who was rattled by a fortune teller telling him he'd be king. Who is now a king, who died in a fire at Summerhall decades before Aemon's scene, taking Dunk with him. Raymun called him useless. He got old. Egg didn't. Dunk didn't. And Aemon spent 100 years carrying that. The show's title is A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Singular. One knight. Not a great lord, not a royal prince. A hedge knight who sleeps under hedges and can't even prove the knighthood is real. And the identity mystery in these first 3 episodes is the foundation of why that title means what it means. You have to not know Egg for 3 episodes to understand why a Targaryen prince chose a hedge in a campfire over a palace. You have to watch Dunk reach for legitimacy he can't verify to understand why someone who already has everything would want to earn their own breakfast. Egg. I dreamed that I was old. He did. Egg didn't. That's the whole show.